the left is trying out in their endless quest to just burn Rome to the ground with no plan B, by the way. They're saboteurs who want to wreck traditionalism, and they have nothing to replace it with. I also want to continue the debate with John Lott and Scott Adams about bump stocks and guns. That'll be here. We're going to finish our three-part series in Words You Can No Longer Say. And then our guest for today is the breathtakingly gorgeous roaming millennial. We'll be covering her with a burqa so you guys can understand what she's saying and not be constantly thinking about what your life would be like if you were married to her. Grow up, guys. And what I want to talk to roaming about, because I see her as an intellectual, is evolution. And I cannot figure out this caterpillar right here. Now, I get whales. Whales are dogs. Remember them? They started out as like this thing. They were basically a dog, like a little wolfy, ratty guy. And then it started going near water, and the ones that had webbed paws could swim better, so they would make more of them. And the next thing you know, the more whaley you are, the more you propagate the species, and the next thing you know, you're a damn whale. I get that. Same with giraffes. Tall guys can get these leaves that no one else can get. They make more giraffes. Gotcha. But then this guy comes along, and he made a snake head at the bottom of his head that is absolutely perfect.
Caterpillar in the wild. Kind of looks like a dead stick.
So that's the top of him, right?
Tell, you annoy him.
Look at the snake head he made.
He turns into a perfect little viper.
Not a very creative name. They're called the snake mimic caterpillar.
He puffs up those eyes. They fill them.
Look at that.
They've even got the white spots that look like reflections in the eyes.
I cannot tell the difference between that and a snake. So I don't understand how you get there from trial and error. It doesn't make any sense to me. And even if you're a creationist, why the hell would God make that? He doesn't want snakes to eat something? That doesn't, why is he meddling? He's not a meddler. I believe that the universe started 3.5 billion years ago by God with a big bang. He pushed the first domino, and then he sort of went up to you guys, and it went brrrr. There were some losers, like hammerhead sharks, and there were some winners. Well, there was a winner, which is us. So we're going to talk to roaming about that because I'm not smart enough to crack the case of the snake mimic caterpillar. Hello, roaming millennial. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Great. You know, I've noticed with this lighting, we can't see your hideous eye bags as much.
Yeah, those are definitely real. I do have those. Actually, the biggest part of my filming setup, what takes the longest, is trying to sort of organize the light in a real world optical illusion so that I don't have those, so that it looks like I actually sleep like a regular person.
Okay, you're insane, A. B, I want you to know, and all
Serious
women to
problem.
know, that we don't see what you see. And you'll be talking to a girl and she'll go, well, obviously with my lopsided ears. And you'll go, wait a minute. And then all you see after that is one big ear and one tiny ear. So never say your flaw because we don't see it. And then when you say it, it's all we see.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of women, when we do stuff like that, the way we look, we're actually doing it for other women.
Yes.
Right? Because guys, I don't think they notice. And
No.
I mean, when it comes to things like makeup, they actually prefer a more natural look, whereas women love the full glam, eyelashes, lipstick, and stuff. So no, we're totally, I think for the most part, doing it for other women who we see as maybe competition. But it's nice to know that guys are more laid back about it, I suppose.
Yeah, quite frankly, if I was single and you were missing an eye, I think I could still show you off. Like, I think my friends would still be impressed, especially if you had a cool eye patch. But
Right, I mean, glass eyes have come a long way, frankly.
in the interim, we're just going to do that for the interview, okay?
Still looks pretty good. I mean, I gotta say, I mean, I'm working the eye makeup, so.
You're right, it does. That's crazy. You know you're hot when you're still kicking it in a burqa. Okay, let's get down to the matter at hand here. I don't understand this video of the caterpillar. Can we go through it, please? Hey?
Oh, yeah, sure. I wasn't sure if you're gonna play it again.
Okay.
So I'm not an evolutionary biologist.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I understand, this is something that's, I mean, the fact that this has evolved is extremely rare, right? Because I feel like when we talk about evolution, a lot of people use the phrase, and I learned this with vegans, evolved too, as if evolution has a purpose. But I mean, if we go based just on science, it's all random, right? So the fact that this evolution happened, or this evolutionary trait happened randomly throughout time, i.e., like random mutations happened in this caterpillar that were passed down from generation to generation to eventually be what it is now, where it looks so much like a snake. It's extremely, I mean, the chances of it are just like minuscule. So it does boggle the mind, the fact that this is all happened randomly and it somehow looks like a snake perfectly.
Right. Well, let's have a brief look at the end here.
Puffs up those eyes.
Look at
they're
that.
Still there. So they've even got the white spots that look like reflections in the eyes.
And what I don't get, like I get, we talked earlier about how a whale is a dog, and the dog is going near the water, and he's getting some fish and stuff. And then the ones that can sort of, with webbed feet, they get more fish, so they get more mates, and they make more of them. I get that. Or giraffes. I'm taller than you, so I get more food, and so I make more of me. Gotcha. Very crystal clear. But this thing, it doesn't look sort of like a snake. It's not like a butterfly where it has eyes and you go, oh, that could kind of be a predator. It looks exactly like a snake.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of thing when you think about it, it's almost it's hard to believe, but what would have had to have happened was a caterpillar was born with sort of I think it's the butt that looks like a snake, right? Or is it the face?
No, it's the head, but it's the
head?
Yeah, let's look at it again. It's the bottom of the head. So like underneath his neck. So he's upside down right now when he's showing you that. His head, right now, he's hiding the top of his head. That's the bottom. That's like under his neck.
Yeah, so what would have happened, had to have happened was that, a caterpillar is born with a weird underbelly, and for some reason that, that mutation was advantageous in some way that allowed that caterpillar to reproduce more and so spread throughout the population, and then more mutations. Like, I mean, it makes sense, but you have to kind of be in awe of the statistical improbability of that, and the fact that it does look so much like what it's meant to, a snake. And I mean that's true for all of these animals that use camouflage techniques, like those praying mantises that look like leaves, or those fish that look like coral.
Yeah, predators are stupid, so you don't have to be this
Animals
good.
in general are very stupid, I find.
Yeah, like if you have a dock and you don't want birds turning on it, you just have some circles that are reflective, and pigeons and crows just go, oh, those must be eyes, and they fly away. You don't have to make a perfect snake head
in order to not get eaten.
Yeah, I don't understand. And then people, so I'm sure creationists are watching me going, aha, this is proof that God makes stuff. It's intelligent creation. Intelligent design. This is intelligent design. I get the intelligent design argument, but this doesn't make sense either, because that implies that God went, I like these caterpillars more than other caterpillars. I'm going to make a magic snake head on this one. So my snakes, because he made snakes too. So he's going, I don't want my snakes eating this particular caterpillar. Well, now you're just meddling, God.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when it comes to animals, like probably atheists and creationist Christians will not like what I'm saying, but I feel like God is not that invested in the animal kingdom, just from what I've seen. I don't know. I mean, we have dominion over them. It's in the Bible.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you said that, because that's a great way to end this. I believe the same thing. I'm a human supremacist, and I see deer in particular as total losers. I mean, there's a reason why in India and most of the Arab world, the worst thing you can say is your uncle is a donkey. Because donkeys are losers. All these animals, like when I see a hammerhead shark, my heart breaks. I think we started on the same sort of like microchip, and then we went off on a million tangents. We clearly win. And then I see some of these other things, like a pygmy shrew that has to eat twice its body weight every 2 hours. I just go, what a terrible life you have, shrew.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how I see pandas. They're adorable and I love them. At the same time, they're an evolutionary dead end. I mean, they can't even reproduce enough to keep their population consistent. They're like the Swedes at this point. So It's like, I don't know, like I want to help you. You're adorable, but I feel like maybe nature's trying to tell us something.
Yeah. Maybe it's time you go, Pan. Sorry. And the things we do too, like the capabilities we have where we take a wolf and make it into a chihuahua, it's downright immoral. I think Christians should be angrier at chihuahuas. That's a brutal. Pugs can't even give birth to their own their own offspring. I was going to say children. Their heads are too big for their own vaginas.
I didn't know that about pugs. But actually, I mean, they're trying. The vets are trying to get people to not buy any flat-faced dogs anymore because they have a lot of health problems. So I mean, like, not only are we, I mean, from a Christian perspective, you could say meddle with nature, but we're actually creating animals that are extremely unhealthy, with like the pug. I think, like, I heard somewhere that when they sneeze, their eyes can pop. There's a possibility, and then like some will try to eat it. It's just like it's a messed up creation that we have made. The pug was not meant to be.
You know, if there's a takeaway from all this, it is nature is more complex and wonderful than we can possibly imagine. So just don't get involved in it.
Mm-hmm. Just leave it alone.
All right. So you are just as pretty on the inside as the outside. Thank you for coming on the show and explaining evolution to us.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Definitely just a pure scientist on this matter. Just skilled, very knowledgeable about the evolution.